Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way today for your live match watch along for Sunderland versus Watford. I should be being joined by a guest as well today. I'm just waiting for him to arrive. But while we're waiting, we'll get into the team news first. And of course, lots and lots to talk about today, including the breaking news that occurred just yesterday, actually, that Joao Pedro is signing for Brighton at the end of the season for a reported £30 million transfer fee. We'll get into everything about that shortly. But as I mentioned first, we'll get into the team news for this game. I'm a little bit peed off, actually, because in the match preview Chris Wilder does every week going into the games, he mentioned that he wanted to play more youth. He wanted to introduce more youth into the squad. And we've not done that today. Christian Cabaselle's actually gone into the game as captain. And there's not really any youth players on the bench either. So the starting 11 for Watford is Keenan Davis up front, Ismail Assar, Ken Sema and Yassir Asprilla seem to be making up the front line. Imran Louza and Hamza Chowdhury seem to be the sit-in midfielders. And then in our defence, we've got Hassan Kamara, Christian Kabasele, who's named as captain for this game. Very controversial. Ryan Porteous partnering Kabasele, Ryan Andrews at right back, and then Daniel Bachmann in goal. For Sunderland, again, I don't really know too much about their squad, but we'll talk about their starting 11 as well. So it's Patterson in goal, Kirkin, Hume, Luke O'Nien and Gooch in the defence. Neil Ekwa in midfield. Jack Clark, Patrick Roberts, Ahmad Diallo, who I really like, and Joe Gelhardt making up the attack for Sunderland. And of course, Sunderland going into this game are fighting for them playoff positions. Watford don't have anything to fight for at all. So for us, really, it's a nothing game. And for Sunderland, I know a lot of Sunderland fans have messaged me actually. And they've pretty much sold out their ground. 50,000 odd Sunderland fans in attendance today. And yeah, as I said, I'll try and keep you as up to date as I possibly can. Looking at the chat, Harry's in chat. Hello, Harry. How are you doing? And James is also in chat as well. I hope you're doing well, James. And yeah, hopefully you can join me for the majority of this game this afternoon. In terms of my score prediction and how I think the game's going to go, I'm not confident. Again, as I said, Watford don't really have anything to play for whatsoever, whereas Sunderland are fighting for their playoff lives, their playoff position at the moment. Just going to get the championship table up now, just so I can see where Sunderland are at. So Sunderland have actually just dropped down to 7th in the table, but a win today will take them back into the top 6. So a win today, the 3 points for Sunderland is a must. And whereas for Watford, I just want a nice end to the season. I want to see some positive results. And of course, I want to see a Watford win today. Watford about to kick off here at the Stadium of Light. Watford wearing the blue kit today. Shifty in chat. Hello, Shifty. How are you doing? He says, how do I feel about Joao Pedro? Well, you can go and watch my dedicated video I did all about Joao Pedro, and that is live on the channel now. But to summarize my thoughts, I'm devastated. You know, Joao Pedro is our best player. He's our most talented player. For me, in my time supporting Watford, he's the player who has had the most potential to go on and be a world-class superstar. So yeah, Joao Pedro for me, I'm gutted, I'm sad, but equally, I'm really happy he's gone to a club like Brighton. You know, where he can develop, he can thrive. I really like De Zerbi as well. So yeah, you know, delighted for Joao Pedro. Great move for him. And yeah, you know, really happy that he can go on and further his career. James says, not watching the game today, just listening here. No problem at all. I do have a feed of the game as well, just to write me here on my computer. So I'll keep you as up to date as I possibly can. And yeah, sold out Stadium of Light as well. I have to say, Sunderland fan base, fair play. They've got quality fans. And they're actually on the attack here, just down the right-hand side. Diallo trying to bring the ball forwards, and it's cut out by Hassan Kamara. And yeah, Sunderland, you know, they look right up for it. The crowd look right up for it as well. And yeah, I'm just excited to be watching Watford again, really. And only 2 games left of the season, which is a little bit annoying because, you know, football kind of makes up my weekends. I don't really have much else to do apart from watching football. So I'm a little bit gutted the season is ending, but equally, I'm not gutted because our season's been awful. So a bit of a catch-22 situation there. Shifty says, with the money we now have from Pedro, is there anyone you would bring in? well, again, you know, we are getting a high transfer fee for Joao Pedro. But again, you know, Watford are in a lot of debt currently to Gino Pozzo, who owns the club. Watford on the attack here, by the way. Kamara whips the ball in and it's cut out by the Sunderland defence. Yeah, what would I do with the Joao Pedro money? I mean, there's a lot we have to do this summer. I mean, we're talking about not just 3 or 4 players. We're talking about here, you know, a drastic rebuild. We're talking about, you know, 8, 9, 10 players potentially leaving and 8, 9, 10 new players potentially joining the club. So there's a lot to do with that £30 million. Of course, there's other assets we can sell as well, the likes of Ismail Assar. Imran Loser is up for debate. I'll probably do a poll later on in the stream whether we should keep Loser or sell him. But there's a lot that can happen in this game, in this transfer window, I should say. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Again, I'm delighted for Joao. Great move for him. And actually, Fabrizio Romano, just before we went live here today, tweeted an update about Joao and whether he'll actually play again this season. So I'll just get Fabrizio's tweet up here. Also, I'm keeping an eye on the game as well. Sunderland on the attack, edge of the Watford box. Batman saves, and that was destined to go into the back of the net. So a good save there by Daniel Backman. Yeah, Fabrizio Romano tweeted, Joao Pedro not in the Watford squad today as he passed medical tests and signed a new contract as a Brighton player earlier this week. All coming from our favourite Watford journalist, favourite Watford fan, Fabrizio Romano. And Chris Wilder also said it's been a strange week for Joao Pedro with plenty going on, which is why they chose not to include him in the Watford squad today. Obviously, Watford are not going to come out and explicitly say the reason why he's not in the squad, probably just for legal reasons. However, we all know why he's not in the squad. You know, we don't want Joao Pedro to get injured and then the move falls apart. We want to protect him. And yeah, that's really why he's not in the squad today. Sunderland again on the attack down his right hand side here. Kamara cutting it out. And yeah, it's been a fast start by Sunderland here. Let me know how you guys are getting on today as well. I've got a little bit of a suntan on me today. I've been outside this morning. The weather's been lovely here in the UK. And yeah, you know, just enjoying the weather. It's a bank holiday weekend. We all get Monday off as a non-work day. So yeah, I'm just having a nice relaxing time, and I'm happy to be here talking to you guys today as well. Sunderland do have a free kick here. Again, the play's been very much focused down that right-hand side. Hassan Kamara's had a lot to do in these opening minutes of the game. And Sunderland have a free kick with Ahmad standing over it. Harry says, I hope all goes well for him at Brighton. Absolutely agree with you there, Harry. And Batman claims very, very well there. Lots of other Watford news to talk about as well. James Morris signing a new contract at Watford until 2026, with the option to extend actually for a further year on top of that to take him until 2027. What are your guys' thoughts on that? James Morris obviously coming a few years ago from Southampton's academy. And has played quite a few first-team games this season. I think Morris has done really, really well, actually. I like his attitude. I like his mentality. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he should necessarily be starting as our first-choice left-back for a whole season. However, as a backup option, as a squad option, I think James Morris is a really good asset to have, actually. So, yeah, I'm happy Morris has signed a new contract. And yeah, as VJ says, Morris is superb. I really do like him. So for me, James Morris, I'm really happy with. And let me know how my audio is as well, guys. Is the audio levels okay? Do I look okay? Is the video okay? Let me know in the chat as well. Watford on the attack here, driving forwards. And that's broken up by the Sunderland defence. Again, I'll quickly run you through the Watford starting 11. Daniel Backman in goal. Ryan Andrews, who I believe is starting his 4th or 5th game in a row here. So really well done to Ryan Andrews. Only 18 years old as well, starting at right back. Ryan Porteous and Christian Kabasele in defence. Hassan Kamara at left back. The midfield 2 is Imran Loser and Hamza Chowdhury. And the attack is made up of Ismail Assar, Ken Sema, Yassir Asprilla and Keenan Davis. So that is the Watford team for you today. James says it's fine with Morris, but only as a backup. Absolutely agree with that. And Shifty says I'm happy with Morris, but definitely need to get in fullbacks for both sides. Yes, that is interesting because I do think right back again is a weakness for Watford. I mean, we can see that already with an academy player starting for 4 or 5 games at right back. It shows we're not really, we don't really have a lot of quality in that area. So yeah, I think fullbacks. I mean, we're talking about areas here to strengthen. Every area in this Watford team can be strengthened to an extent, but what are the key areas for me? That's the question. I think a goal scoring centre forward who can get 20 plus championship goals a season is essential. Is Myla Sars going to leave in the summer as well? So that's another wide play you have to bring in. And of course, we've always got the loan market to look at as well. We brought in Hamza Chowdhury on loan this season from Leicester. Is that a loan that you guys would like to extend or you would look to extend? I'm not so sure. There's a lot that's going to happen this summer. I'm sure I'll be very, very busy making videos here on the Watford Way. All of that are outgoings and incomings to the club as well. But yeah, a lot to get done this summer. Adam, welcome to the stream, my friend. He says we need to bring in a manager before we start recruiting. I think that would make logical sense. I think Ben Manga now is really in charge of everything pretty much in regards to, incomings, in regards to transfers, in regards to managerial appointments. I believe Gino Pozzo has pretty much handed over all footballing control to Ben Manga, and the team is brought over from Frankfurt, really. Helen Acosta, I think he's brought in someone else as well, actually, from Frankfurt. So there's 3 or 4 of them there working as a team to hopefully develop the club and send us in a more positive direction. But again, it could all go wrong. We're thinking positive things about Ben Manga, and hopefully that is going to be the case. Wow, Batman is really far out of his goal line here, actually. Well done, Daniel. Hopefully Ben Manga can turn the club around, but again, it could go the opposite way, and we end up in potentially like a relegation battle next season, and we don't really know what's going to happen. It's a massive summer for Watford. It's a massive summer for other clubs as well. Norwich are in a very, very similar situation. I was watching a Norwich fan podcast yesterday, actually, and they're having issues with their owners, Stuart Webber, Delia Smith, protests against their owners. Again, at Watford, similarities there. We're protesting against our owners and Gino Pozzo, Scott Duxbury. So yeah, we're in very similar situations. We're in very, very similar situations in terms of rebuilding the club as well. And yeah, it is what it is ultimately. Hopefully, we can turn it around. I've renewed my season ticket for next season, so hopefully I can see Watford get promoted back to the Premier League, because I remember as well the last time we got promoted was during COVID, so I wasn't even able to attend any matches whatsoever. So yeah, I want to see a Watford promotion in person. That would be very, very nice. Make sure to subscribe to the channel as well if you are new around here. We're hoping to reach 720 subscribers today. We've had massive growth on our channel over the past week or so. The video is getting thousands and thousands of views. So just want to say thank you so much for that. And yeah, I appreciate the support a lot. It's great talking to you guys. I love doing watch-alongs like this as well. And yeah, it's always really fun. So I really do appreciate the support on the channel over the past few weeks as well. What stand do I sit in? So I sit in the upper Graham Taylor stand. I should post a picture actually where I sit on Instagram or something. But yeah, I sit upper Graham Taylor stand, central to the halfway line pretty much. So I'm not in like the executive seats, but I'm kind of as close to the nice seats as you could possibly get, really, as a normal fan. So I'm kind of near the director's box in that kind of area. So yeah, whenever there's like a celebrity or someone there, I can usually if I'm good with my eyes, I can usually spot them. And yeah, Amad Diallo there going close with a free kick. Just going wide of the post, actually. Daniel Batman died for it. But yeah, it just went past the far post. And yeah, as I said, I was meant to have a guest joining me today. It seems like they've not been able to make it. So it looks like you've just got me for the entirety of this watch along, but I'm sure that's fine. And yeah, a bit of a shaky start by Watford so far. The Sunderland fans, as I said, are right up for it. They're all standing up, chanting, raring to go. They need to win today, I believe, to get back into their playoff positions. And yeah, Watford, nothing to play for. What I will do is I'll put a poll in chat now, actually, as I mentioned earlier, about Imran Loser and whether you would keep Loser or sell Loser. So I'll put the poll in chat now. And yeah, have a vote in the poll. Let me know if you would sell Loser or you'd keep him for next season, because Imran Loser is quite a difficult one for me, because I do think he's a very, very talented player in the right system, and he's probably worth quite a lot of money. Watford could probably get, for me, over £10 million for Loser quite easily. He's a Moroccan international as well. If it wasn't for injury, he would have been going to the World Cup as well. So Loser for me is a player who is under contract at Watford. It's not expiring anytime soon. I'm sure he'd probably be happy to stay. But again, if we want to have a big rebuild at the club, we need to bring in as many finances as possible. And to do that, you have to unfortunately sell your most valuable assets. And those three are probably Loser, Pedro, and Ismaila Sarr, really. So yeah, it is what it is ultimately. But yeah, have a vote on that poll I've just put in chat as well. And thank you for the kind words, James, as well. About 75% of you so far have actually said sell Imran Loser, which I do find to be quite interesting. I mean, with Loser, he's had quite a long-term injury this season. I mean, that kept him out from, I can't remember exactly when he got injured, but I think it was about October time. And it kept him out until, was it like January, February time he come back? So, yeah, it kept him out for quite a long time, that injury, which was a shame, because he was obviously going to be key to our promotion ambitions. Courtney House as well, the left-footed centre-back, who also come in on loan from Aston Villa. He would have been key, but again, I don't know what happened with that whole situation. He had some sort of agenda against the club, then trying to force him to play with an injury. I don't know what happened in the Courtney House situation. Shifty is a match on Hive Live. Unfortunately, not for UK viewers, because it's the whole stupid EFL rules with the 3 p.m. blackout. Yeah, Watford are not allowed to stream the match on Hive Live, unfortunately. Which is stupid. Stupid. They should make all games available to view at any time, really. It's a stupid rule. James says sell Joao, Sarr and Loser, which should make us around 50 million. I suppose, yeah, that sounds about right. 50 million for them three players. Don't sign any loan players and move on the old players. Okay, I do agree with that. And he says sell Deadwood for cheap and give Manga about 30 million to rebuild the squad. I mean, there's a lot of Deadwood to get rid of. I mean, talking about Deadwood, we've got we've got Dan Gosling to get rid of. Well, we've got rid of him already, but I believe we might be re-signing him again on a short-term deal. That's all confusing. Tom Cleverley again is an interesting one as well. Do you keep Tom Cleverley? Do you sell him? That's up for debate as well. For me, get rid. We need to rebuild with young, hungry, injury-free players. We can't be keeping these legacy players from previous seasons. Ismaila Sarr on the attack down the right-hand side here. Davis holds up the ball, spreads it out wide to Ken Sema. Ken Sema driving into the box. Davis grabs hold of it, he touches Paul, and it goes out for a Watford corner. So Watford having their first real attacking chance of the game there, 16 minutes in. And yeah, was it the Millwall game, Mark, that Loser got injured in? I believe it was. I think it was was it Millwall away and we lost 3-0? I think it was that game. Let me know if I'm correct. Again, that's an awful performance by Watford. But yeah, corner for Watford here, whipped in. And we've scored! Watford have scored a goal! It's Christian Kabasele! Oh my God! I can't believe it. The player who gets so much stick, Christian Kabasele, number 27, captain for Watford today, has scored from a corner. Oh my God. I mean, again, I'm not getting too excited. There's nothing to play for whatsoever. Good header from Kabasele, though. And how funny is that the player who probably gets the most stick from all Watford fans scores from a corner? Good ball in there. I can't actually see who whipped the ball in. But yeah, a cracking header by Kabasele. He kind of gets free in the penalty area. Yes, what a guy. Come on. Oh my God, how funny is that? I can't believe that. But again, why didn't we do this 3 or 4 weeks ago when we still had a chance of getting into them player positions? I've got no idea. And wow, I was very pessimistic in my match preview. I said Sunderland would probably win this 4 or 5-0. But fair play. Kabasele coming up trumps with the goal. Come on, Cabba. Adam finds it very funny. VJ says, Kabasele. Mark says, yes, Millwall away goal. Yeah, I did think it was Millwall away. Shifty says they will now come back and beat us 3-1. Well, to be fair, this similar situation happened in the Cardiff City game, didn't it? Where I believe it was Sarr who put us 1-0 up. Cardiff got a goal back. And then after that, we capitulate and it all goes to shit, really. So I wouldn't get too excited. But yeah, Kabasele with the goal. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable scenes in the away end. It's a really good header, to be fair. It's not like it was deflected or anything like that. It was actually a really good header by Christian Kabasele. So fair play. I'll tell you what I can do now, actually. Let's do a Championship and Premier League score update. I do enjoy having a look at the other games going on at the same time as us as well. Sunderland, though, with a chance here, actually. Good play down the Watford left. Ball's whipped in and well defended by Ryan Porteous. And Sunderland now have a corner. Watford marking man-to-man by the looks of it. There's a lot of space in the penalty area to kind of whip the ball into. 20 minutes gone here at Sunderland. And it's headed away by number 27, Christian Kabasele, who has had a fantastic start to this game so far. And yeah, Watford now on the break. Keenan Davis drives forward. Asprilla picks up the ball, lays it out wide. And Watford on the counter-attack here now. And the linesman actually puts his flag up for offside. So a missed opportunity there for the Hornets. Score update from the other Championship games. There was Friday night football yesterday that ended Millwall 3, Blackpool 2. Coventry are beating Birmingham City by 1-0. Watford, through Christian Kabasele, are beating Sunderland by 1-0. Hull City beating Swansea by 1-0. Sheffield United Preston is 0-0. However, Sheffield United have already secured Premier League promotion. Reading 0, Wigan 0, Bristol 0, Burnley 0, and Stoke 0, QPR 0. And I believe if Wigan fail to win against Reading today, they will be relegated from the Championship. So yeah, those are the latest score updates there. Premier League fixtures. I'm not actually sure what the Premier League fixtures are today. And wow, Joao Pedro's new club, Brighton, are winning by 2-0 away at Wolves. And Brentford are drawing with Nottingham Forest 0-0. So only 2 Premier League games are on at the moment. The rest are tomorrow or during the week. So yeah, only 2 Premier League games are on currently. It's interesting you mentioned Shifty there, Ashley Fletcher, because he obviously is still contracted to the club. I would assume, I'd like to assume that they would probably move him on. However, you know, if we are desperate and we don't have that much money to spend, I maybe he might play a part next season. I don't know. I mean, James says he'd rather have his nan up front. I would probably agree with that. You know, Britta Sumbalonga as well. He signed a short-term contract. Are Watford in such a desperate situation where they would look to extend Sumbalonga's contract? I would hope not. Vacuum Bio is still a Watford player, I believe. He's on loan. Samuel Kalu is a Watford player still. So there's a lot of players who are still actually contracted to Watford who could feature next season. So, you know, it's all up for debate, really. But I'd hope, you know, fingers crossed, my fingers are crossed, we would kind of move these guys on and not stick with them, because for me, they kind of symbolise the old, not the old regime, because we still have Gino Pozzo as owner, but they symbolise failed transfers. And I think Watford need to move on into a different direction under Ben Manga. So, yeah, I'd look to, you know, Dan Gosling, Tom Cleverley, Ashley Fletcher, Samuel Kalu, get them gone, get red, and bring in some new guys. Really, that's probably what I'd look to do. And Sunderland on the attack here. I mean, let's be fair. Me watching this game here at the moment, Sunderland have had by far more possession and have had the better chances in front of goal as well. So yeah, you know, Sunderland probably should be in the lead in this game. But again, you know, Watford, how often do we say our set pieces are awful? Pretty much every week. And then when it doesn't really matter, we score from a corner. So classic Watford. Let's go on Twitter and see what everybody is saying, because I do enjoy reading through Twitter. Someone says Watford score from a corner. I must be dreaming. No, it's actually happened. And yeah, as someone else says, we actually beat the first man from a corner as well. Incredible stuff. Someone else saying Christian Capasole is playing for a contract extension. Please no, please no. It is funny, isn't it? You do have to laugh. We are a very funny football club in regards to everything, whether it be our most hated player, if you will, scoring from a corner in the second to last game of the season, whether it's, you know, Mogi Bayat and his money laundering transfer deals allegedly. Yeah, we are funny. We're a funny football club. We are a funny football club. Domingos Kina Shifty says, I believe he is also still a Watford player. I believe he's on loan at one of you guys will have to do some research for me here, but I believe it's either at Rotherham or Preston. Domingos Kina is on loan at. I should probably know that off the top of my head, but I believe it's Preston or Rotherham that Kina is on loan. So yeah, he is still a Watford player. Should he be playing in a side challenging for Championship promotion? I don't know. But it's certainly shown glimpses, especially when we were in the Premier League. It's shown glimpses of what he can do. And again, symbolises... oh, good shot there from Keenan Davis, parried by the Sunderland goalkeeper. That could have quite easily been 2-0 to Watford then. Cracking shot. Oh, it's Ryan Andrews, actually, and then Keenan Davis on the rebound there. What a shot from young Ryan Andrews there. Harry says, I'm pretty sure it's Rotherham, but I will check. Yeah, I did think it was Rotherham. I'm not sure how well he's done there. I mean, the last time I checked, he's been a bench player for them, really. So I don't think he's kind of lit it up, really, at Rotherham. But it's a shame, really. You know, we bring in these young players and occasionally it does work out. You know, you look at Joao Pedro, that clearly worked out. Richarlison, it worked out very, very well. Estupinian, the left back we brought in, that works out well. He now plays at Brighton as their left back. And Watford made quite a lot of money from that deal as well. So, it does work out sometimes, but 90% of the time at Watford, these young players, they're failures really in the grand scheme of things. Our business model is, buy cheap, sell for profit, and develop the players while they're at the club. That's the way Watford have looked to operate for a very, very long time. And I kind of think in the past few years we've lost that really. So hopefully we can kind of get back into that model. And also as well along the way, you have to, as well as selling these players, if you want to progress as a club and climb the leagues, you have to keep some of your best assets as well. And I'm sure we all wanted to keep Joao Pedro for next season. However, the time's come to sell him now, really. And we've got a good transfer fee for him, £30 million. So, I'm happy with the transfer fee. Just going back to the loser poll that I posted in chat about 20 minutes ago. 69% of you have gone with sell Imran Loser during the summer transfer window. So, I actually thought the majority of people would say keep Loser. So, that's interesting that you guys want to sell Loser. Because I personally really like him as a footballer. I think he's really tidy. He's a good age. Probably a bit too injury prone for me, but his quality, he should be a Premier League player in Man User for me. So I definitely look to keep him for next season. And Tony Mowbray, the Sunderland manager, is looking very, very agitated on the touchline at the moment. And nearly half an hour gone at the Stadium of Light. I'm interested to know, for me, what's going on in Chris Wilder's mind, because for weeks and weeks now, Chris Wilder's trying to get a tune out of these Watford players. And, with 2 games to go and nothing to play for, suddenly we're beating a really good Sunderland team. I went to QPR away. It was a dreadful game. I wasted about £40 that day watching us put in a terrible performance. Today we're putting in a pretty solid performance so far, a pretty solid showing. So it's frustrating. It really, really is. So I'm just laughing at the comment there. Shifty says, any thoughts on Tom Deli Bashiri? Again, quality player, too injury prone for me. Get rid, get a transfer fee for him, couple of £1 million maybe. I'd look to move them on, because we can't keep holding on to these players who, yes, they are talented individuals, but whether it's mentality or injury issues, you just got to move them on. Move on from what you think is good and bring in some new faces. We need a whole new squad. I want to see 10, 11, 12 new faces in the summer. Don't get me wrong, there's a core there who you might keep. Daniel Batman potentially you might keep. Ryan Porteous, Wesley Hoot, Loser, Espria, Kone, Ken Sema potentially. But apart from them core players, everyone else can leave, in my opinion. We need to rebuild the squad now. Kayembe Shifty as well. I completely forgot about Edu Kayembe. Again, how many players are contracted to Watford? Literally, we must have about 30, 35 players contracted to the men's senior team at the moment. It's absolutely mental. Crazy the amount of players we've got out on loan and stuff as well. Kalu, as James says as well. Yeah. Not a lot has happened since the Watford goal, really. Sunderland had an opportunity from a free kick that was just wide. And Ryan Andrews bombed forward for Watford. And had a good shot actually parried by the Sunderland goalkeeper. But that's really all that's happened so far. And about 14, 15 minutes left of this first half as well. So yeah,
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Shut up, Siri. Stop talking to me. Sometimes my Apple Watch just like starts speaking to me. I feel like it's listening all the time to my conversations. It's a bit freaky. Yeah. Good. Shut up, Siri. There you go. Hungbo as well. That's a good point, Ed. Again, another player I've forgotten about. Hungbo, obviously, I believe is at Huddersfield, if I'm correct. And I think he's scored a few goals there actually as well. So Joseph Hungbo, not good enough for me. A decent player in the championship. I suppose upper League One, lower Championship is probably Joseph Hungbo's level. But yeah, for a promotion side, I don't think he's good enough really. Quadaway Bar, Ed, I'm not sure is at Watford anymore. I believe we might have sold him on, or he might have left on a free transfer. But again, my mind deceives me sometimes. We've got so many players to keep track of. But I believe Quadaway Bar might have left the club. I'm not too sure. And yeah, not really too much to talk about. I mean, delighted with the Kabasele goal. Is that going to be maybe his last appearance in a Watford shirt? I don't know. I believe he's still contracted until 2025, Christian Kabasele. So, yeah, a long way going on Kabasele's contract, but a good start by Watford. We've not probably kept hold of the ball as much as we could and should have, but in terms of our shape and what I'm seeing at the moment, we look solid. Everyone seems to know what their specific roles are as well. And actually, we're doing this all without Joao Pedro as well. Obviously, as we mentioned earlier, Joao Pedro is moving to Brighton in the summer. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that numerous times over the past few days. And yeah, it just goes to show we can go ahead in a football match without our Brazilian king, Joao Pedro. So that is a positive for me. And we've defended quite well so far. Ryan Porteous has looked solid. Sunderland on the attack here. Big opportunity there. Sunderland player goes down. Referee says no penalty. Sunderland there asking for a penalty. I think it was Ryan Andrews who put a challenge in the penalty area. But yeah, referee said no penalty in this situation. And here comes Sunderland again. Well defended there by Chowdhury. Asprilla looks to play out. Referee gets in the way, actually. And referee pulls the play back because he got in the way of the ball. He literally stood in the path of the ball. No, that's not a penalty. I'm just seeing it on the replay here. The Sunderland player runs into Ryan Andrews. Definitely not a penalty for me. I'm just looking through Twitter at everyone's reactions to Kabasele scoring. I mean, Kabasele is a really nice guy. I've met him numerous times. Before Watford games at Vicarage Road, I spoke to him numerous times as well. He's a really nice guy. A lot of our players are nice. Like, when it comes to abusing our players, I don't think it's right. Morally, they are human beings at the end of the day. However, Kabasele is probably one of the most least liked Watford players out there. I think it's fair to argue in terms of his performances on the pitch. But fair play, he scored a goal. He's looked defensively solid so far. Maybe not then, actually. He nearly cost us a goal, but generally he's been solid in this game so far. So yeah, I'm quite happy with Kabasele's performance today. And probably what I'll do, talking about end of season plans and what I've got planned for the channel. I I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. I mean, there's obviously going to be a lot that's going to happen in regards to the Watford transfer window and stuff like that. So, of course, I bring you regular updates on transfer rumours or incomings and outgoings. We've got a new manager to bring in as well at some point. But yeah, I'll probably do like a whole video doing like a season review. So we'll talk about Rob Edwards, where it went wrong. Then we'll talk about Slavan Bilic. And then obviously we'll talk about the Chris Wilder era at Vicarage Road as well, and where that went wrong as well. So a lot of content still to come. And yeah, one more game still to go in a championship as well. I might do a vlog from Vicarage Road next Saturday. Well, it's not next Saturday, it's actually the Monday, because the game's on the bank holiday Monday. So I might do a vlog from the game if I fancy it. And yeah, that'll be it for this season, really. So a successful season for the channel and our socials generally. The Twitter page has grown quite a lot, Instagram, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube as well. But yeah, on the pitch, it's not been successful at all, really. So yeah, polar opposites in that respect. James says, could I do a transfer window plan? I could. Probably the video would probably be about an hour long. I'll pre-warn you on that. But yeah, I could do something like that as well. Yeah, so there's a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. I'm interested to see how quickly we appoint our new manager, because after our next game, you know, we could appoint him within a day, within a week, within a month. I don't know how quickly it will happen, really. I suppose the sooner it happens, the better. The sooner we know who it is, who's going to be leading us, the better, really. So I know the real links we've had with managers has only really been for one person, and that was a guy called Francisco Farioli about a week ago. There's a few articles and stuff about him potentially joining Watford, but apart from that, there's not really been any rumours or murmurings about who it may be. And I've mentioned in a previous watch along actually as well, in regards to the new Watford shirt sponsor. From what I've been told from a source, Stake will no longer be Watford shirt sponsor next season, and there's two potential options we're looking at. I presume Watford already know who the shirt sponsor will be, because obviously they have to get it printed and shipped over to the UK and stuff like that as well. But as far as I'm aware, Stake will no longer be Watford's shirt sponsor for next season. So some news for you there as well. About 5 minutes left to go in this first half. Watford doing really well. Ryan Andrews just won a fantastic ball back there. And Watford hopefully looking to get a second goal just before half time. 5 minutes to go left in this first half. And Watford playing some good football at the moment. Although Sunderland are on the counter-attack now. They've got a 4v4 situation. Ahmad sends the ball out of play for a Watford throw in there. Good opportunity there for Sunderland, though, to drive forward. And yeah, for Sunderland, it's a massive match for them. So you know, if they fail to win today, that's, you know, a massive opportunity gone for them to get into the player positions, really. So yeah, I fully expect Sunderland to come out and play a lot better, you know, in the second half. James says, would love Football Manager as our kit sponsor. Yes, that would be a really nice kit sponsor. Me personally, I play Football Manager nearly every day, so I love the game. So yeah, I'd love Football Manager as our kit sponsor. The Watford Way as a kit sponsor would look insane. Like, imagine my logo on the Watford kit; it would look superb. Unfortunately, I'm not a billionaire, a millionaire, or anything near to that, so I cannot afford that. But yeah, that would be pretty cool to sponsor your own team. That would be probably the highlight of my life if I could ever afford to sponsor a Watford shirt. But people do it like in lower leagues, especially like League Two, Vanarama National League level. You do get a lot of like local companies who sponsor shirts as well. Here's Watford. Is Mida Sarr down the right hand side. Ball's whipped in. Ken Sema shoots. Oh, blocked. Would have been a goal there. And here comes Sunderland on the counter-attack. High energy game, this actually. Here come Watford again through Ken Sema, driving forward into Hassan Kamara. Still with Kamara, who's ventured into a right wing position. And back with Sunderland. And here we go again. Sunderland on their counter-attack. We're back and forth, back and forth. Out to Ahmad on this right-hand side, who again fails to control it and gets very, very annoyed at himself, actually. I tell you what, it's hard work speaking for an entire watch along just on my own. I wish my guest had turned up, but oh well. You got me now. You got me. Yes, Mark. I believe Adeyemo is injured. Otherwise, I believe Chris Wilder would have probably included him in the squad today, actually. James says, I've got a Watford save in the year 2029 where we've won the Community Shield, Europa Conference League, Europa League, and the Prem. Well, I've got a save in 2038, and we've basically won everything. So, yeah, Football Manager, great game. If you've never played it and you like stuff like that, I highly advise you play Football Manager. It is a superb game. And in my opinion, a lot better than FIFA. Superb game. Please subscribe to the channel as well if you're new watching the stream today. We're trying to hit 720 subscribers today. We've grown about 40 subscribers this month already. And our Sunderland match preview is on schedule to hit about 2,500 views as well, which is crazy numbers for me. So thank you so much for all the support. And again, if you haven't already, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and leave a like on the stream as well. It'd be much appreciated. About a minute and a half to go now in this first half. Can't imagine there'll be much added time. Really, there's not been any injuries in this first half at all. Here comes Sunderland. Good opportunity here. Shots deflected. And Sunderland pushing a lot of plays forward now, actually, as well. And it looks like my guest is able to join for the second half. So thank God I won't be here on my own for the second half. So yeah, I'll bring in my guest in a couple of minutes' time. And yeah, Watford leading by 1-0 just before half-time, courtesy of Christian Kabasele from a corner. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. Shifty says, Porteous, future Watford captain. I think so. You know, Craig Cathcart, for me, has been a great servant at the club. He's been here for a very long time, over 10 years. I think this might be his 11th or 12th season at the club, actually. But again, Cathcart is someone who maybe I would move on next season. Just, you know, we need to move on from these guys now, and bring in some young, hungry talent. I think Ryan Porteous is the what's the right word? He's kind of the definition, really, of what I want from Watford going forward. A young player, you know, in his early 20s. He's got a desire to play Premier League football, and they can do that by joining Watford. And I think Ryan Porteous was captain at his previous club, Hibernian, up in Scotland. And yeah, you know, as in terms of your question, should he be a future Watford captain? I absolutely think he has the capabilities to do that. I mean, we've seen Joao Pedro captain the club this season at 21 years old. So I see no reason why Porteous can't do the same. So for me, yes, absolutely, Porteous should be a Watford captain at some point in the future. Whether it's next season or future years, we'll have to wait and see. But, you know, Ben Wilmot is a frustrating one for me. He could have been a Watford legend, really, Ben Wilmot. He now plays at Stoke City. But we just let him go too early. in his career, really. So very frustrating to let Ben Wilmot go. About a minute left in this first half to go. It looks like Watford will go into half-time 1-0 up. Sunderland are on the attack, though, however. It's pushing forward here at the moment. Can Watford hold on to this lead just before half-time? And, of course, we'll do a score update at half-time as well. Sunderland player goes down in the box, again calling for a penalty. Referee says no. And Sunderland have a corner here 20 seconds before the half-time whistle. So here's Sunderland with a corner. I mean, what a way to go into half-time by scoring now. It's headed away by Christian Kabasele. He's had a superb first half, Kabasele. And that's it. It's half-time at the Stadium of Light. And surprisingly, Watford are 1-0 up away from home. Let's get this right. Let me say that again. Watford Football Club, guys, are winning a football match 1-0 at half-time away from home in front of a sold-out Stadium of Light in front of 50,000 Sunderland fans. I mean, come on. I mean, how funny is this? And we're doing this at the point in the season where we didn't actually need to do this because we're on the beach now. Nothing's going to happen. We're going to finish 13th or 14th in the table. It means nothing to us whatsoever. This match means so much to Sunderland fans. And it means nothing to us Watford fans. But how funny is that? I mean, there we go. Watford go into half-time 1-0 up. I will bring in my guest now. Unfortunately, something popped up earlier, which meant he wasn't able to come in for the first half. But he's available now. He'll be watching the second half with us here on the Watford Way. And yeah, as Harry says, fair play to all the Watford travelling fans who went to the game today. I believe there's about 500, 600, 700 fans. I don't think an official number was given, but there seems to be a few fans there, which is good to see. I'll bring in my guest now. As always, it's Cal. How you doing, buddy?
Not bad. How are you guys doing?
We're good. Well, Watford, as you know, are winning the game 1-0, courtesy of a Christian Kabasele header. So I just want to get your initial thoughts to that, really.
Yeah, it's okay if I can ask, are we actually dreaming?
Yeah, I think we are
away
dreaming,
from home.
but you know what? We'll take it. We'll absolutely take it.
Yeah, I mean, something did pop up earlier, so I couldn't actually join. Sorry about being late to the party, but I am here now. You guys are going to have to fill me in about what happened, mainly in the first half, but I will be here for the second half, just giving my thoughts. But yeah, I mean, initial thoughts off the back of that. Christian Kabasele scoring, I mean, that's a shock in itself.
It is a shock.
Especially,
by the way, Cal, he's captaining the club today as well.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting to see what Wilder's done there because he's obviously he's moved from the original Hoot and Portis counterparts they have that we played with the rest of the season, or for the majority of the season anyway, and he's played Kabasele, and it's proven to be an absolute treat so far. Apparently, he's been absolutely quality this first half.
I mean, to be honest, he has. I mean, it's been superb. Whether I'd keep him next season is a completely another question. However, for me, Kabasele's been solid. He's been good. Watford keeping a clean sheet so far. And I think for me, Cal, the most frustrating thing is, Watford are beating Sunderland today and a very good Sunderland team as well. But it's all a bit too little too late, isn't it? Why couldn't we have done this against Hull City or against Wigan or against Millwall or against QPR? It must be frustrating as a Watford fan, Cal, to see us playing so well today. Yet it means nothing because, unfortunately for Watford, we're going to end in a mid-table finish.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think if our players really did turn up like they are today, or especially our defenders, having to defend because apparently our defense has been quite good today as well, then I reckon we could be challenging for playoffs. But we've let really poor results get the better of us, and we've just played terribly for basically the majority of the season, and obviously that's coming back to bite us now. Even though we get wins, it doesn't count for anything really. Getting 3 points. So I mean, I'll see where we are in the table now. If we do win this, we'll still be 13th if we win this. So yeah, it's just it proves getting results consistently is something that you need to do in the championship because it's always so tight knit. The results, all the points together. We've got. I mean, there's 2 other teams on 63 points. Even if we win this, and we're on 62. So, there's 3 teams on 63 points, and we're on 62 points. So we need to win practically we have to win next week against Stoke. Otherwise, yeah, well, I reckon we'll go further down because there's still loads of teams below us that have points, which means that we'd fall further down. Yeah, it's basically we needed to consistently win, and we haven't. So yeah, it's starting to come back to bite us for sure.
It's just frustrating for me because the league's so poor anyway. I mean, to see Coventry and Sunderland in the top six, Luton are in the top six as well. Coventry have been challenging all season, so it's been quite an easy division this season in terms of for me the quality of the other teams, and it just feels like a real missed opportunity for me. So very, very frustrated. Happy, of course, happy Watford are winning, but again, a missed opportunity. I've not spoken to you about Joao Pedro yet. I'm going to go for a quick toilet break. So I'll ask you about Joao Pedro, and of course, you can take some questions from the chat as well. Massive breaking news coming out yesterday, of course, from our good friend Fabrizio Romano, probably the best transfer journalist in world football. I'm sure we can all agree. He broke the exclusive news that Joao Pedro is going to sign for Brighton for a reported £30 million fee. I'll let you discuss it with the chat as well. But I have to say, for me personally, I'm gutted, really sad, but also happy that he's going to a club like Brighton, Cal.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think, Joao Pedro, he's one of our talents. He's carried us at some point in the season where I feel like, we need to be carried. He's a really, pacey, forward-thinking player. He's a player definitely suited for the Premier League, and he's done that. He's proved it in the Prem before. He's scored against some really big teams. And, he's going to be a real loss for us. I mean, 30 million, I still think that's too low for him, personally. I did say in the last stream against Coventry, I would have taken him for no less than 35, 40 million. But, 30 million, it'll help us rebuild at least if we do invest, because obviously we know the Pozzos don't really know what the word invest means in their dictionary. So, yeah, we just have to hope, we can use that money for good use, and hopefully we can build that around the squad instead of splashing it on one big player. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And also as well, I just have to credit Brighton's scouting recruitment system as well, because obviously with Joao Pedro being their record signing, it just kind of proves how amazing their recruitment is, because it's not every day that you get to build up players like Matoma, who's our regular player, Caicedo, and you're only getting them for really small prices. And Joao Pedro becoming their record signing, it speaks volumes about their club. Really, really good, Tony Bloom, and I'm quite jealous of their ownership. But yeah, anyway, right, we've got a few questions in there in the chat. Let's quickly see what people are saying. We've got Owen Warno, I do apologise if I pronounced that wrong, saying, where do you think Brighton are going to finish in the Premier League with Joao Pedro next season? I believe Joao Pedro does kick on. Sorry if you can see all the white squares. Yeah, I've got reflection in my glasses. But yeah, if Brighton kick on very well a season like they had this season with De Zerbi, and Joao Pedro has a quick start, because I don't reckon he'll be playing on the wings, because I think Matoma's been in such good form that he'll probably occupy the striker space. Even though Welbeck, he's done well, and they have that other striker, wasn't that? But I mean, I don't think you pay 30 million for a striker just to sit on the bench, essentially. So I feel like he will definitely get some Premier League action next season. I reckon they're a good enough squad, to get around 8th upwards, I reckon they'll probably get around 7th or 8th next season. Probably, around the same space as they're getting this season. I think where are they now in the Premier League? Let me just quickly check this. Hold up a second. They are currently, they wouldn't have fallen, did they? They were in the 8th. So, yeah, I reckon they'll overachieve again next season, probably around 7th or 8th, just basically around the same places that they've got this season, because I think, I think De Zerbi is a quality manager. But if they bring in even more quality as well, and do pay, and also just find some gems like they have done as well, I reckon they'll do very well next season. So yeah, around 7th or 8th for me. Ab Thompson's put in the chat, I believe it's 30 million plus 5 million add-ons. Yeah, I mean 35 million around that. If that is the case, and there's been 5 million in add-ons, I probably would accept that. Like I said, 35, 40 million is probably what I think he is worth. That's something that I would have accepted for him. And we've got, I believe there's a sell-on clause as well. I wasn't actually aware of that. If you do know what the sell-on clause is, then make sure you let me know, just so we can discuss that, because I hope it is extremely high, because obviously he's got an extremely high ceiling himself. So It would be a real shame if it is only around 80 something million. I wouldn't. Yeah, that'd be a travesty because I feel like he could definitely overexceed that. I genuinely think he will be one of the world's best players in a few years time. Mark the Shades in the comments, but don't make sense that Ben Manga is going to be undervaluing our playing assets anytime soon. Wait, sorry, I'll read that again. Don't make sense that Ben Manga is going to be undervaluing our playing assets anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, I think we've got a lot of youth to come as well, and we've got Adiemo, we've got Ryan Andrews, who I think is definitely starting to make a first team appearance. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Oh, we got James back.
I'm back.
James is back.
Sorry, carry on, Cal. Sorry, I've distracted you.
Oh no, I was just saying in the comments. Don't make sense that Ben Manga is going to be undervaluing our playing assets anytime soon. So, I love that. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the reason Ben Manga's brought in, really, I mean, we saw it in Andrew French's articles where he interviewed Ben Manga himself, and he's basically been brought in, Ben Manga, to take over all footballing operations, really. Instead of Gino Pozzo interfering all the time. So, I suppose part of Ben Manga's remit will be to make sure when we sell our players as well, we get the most value we can. And I think £30 million for someone like Joao Pedro is a fair valuation. Watford have failed to get promoted this season. We're a Championship club. If Watford were a Premier League club and finishing mid-table every season, I think Joao Pedro would be valued more towards 50 or 60 million pounds. And I'm sure we can all agree with that. However, Ben Manga's been brought in to do a job. And I think he's got a good fee for Joao. So I'm happy with it.
And also as well, you've got to think about, Ismail Assar, we bought him as a record transfer, and his value is completely depleted just based upon the team's performance. So that's why you also got to take into account, because obviously you have the player's quality and what you think the player's worth based on what they can do, how positively they can impact a team, but also as well if the team's performing badly or they're on a really bad run of form, like we are, we're mid-table. No one would have expected that at the start of the season. His value will deplete, and that's something you've got to have a combination of if you want to try and make a sale. And I think, like you said there, maybe 50, 60 million back when Howe was scoring them in the Premier League, that would have been, I think, a bit more justifiable. But
we got 40 million for Richarlison when we were in the Premier League, and I think we can all agree Pedro is probably going to go on to have a better career than Richarlison has had. So I think definitely he's worth more than we sold Richarlison for, and that's £40 million. But again, as I said, Championship club, not getting promoted, £30 million. It's a good deal for all parties. Brighton's record signing, by the way, which is incredible considering they've been a Premier League club for a good while now. So Brighton operating really well as per usual. Is the link working? I sent you, Cal, by the way, just double checking.
Let me just quickly check. Yeah, it is. Oh, actually, hold on.
If you refresh, it should work.
There you go. That's working. Yes.
Good stuff. And hopefully, Watford can hold out for a win this game. I think as fans, Cal, we just want to see a positive end to the season and just something to get positive about, really. Just generally, we just want to see some of these young players get a chance. I mentioned at the start of the stream, Cal, obviously you weren't here at the start, but I said that I was frustrated because in his pre-match press conference, Chris Wilder mentioned trying to bring in some youth players into the team for these final couple of games, the likes of Adrian Blake, Adiemo, Jack Reeves, them types of players. But actually, the only academy player featuring today is Ryan Andrews. So are you frustrated that he's maybe not introduced more youngsters into the squad over the past couple of weeks?
I mean, like I said, all the cameos that we've had from our youth players, I'll defend them to the hill because I think they're absolutely quality and I think they really can develop, especially under another season in the Championship if they're utilised well. And players like Adiemo. I mean, Adiemo for me is my favourite youth player. I don't know, that could be a bit controversial, but for me, I think he has such a high ceiling. And I think
he made such an impact. Was it the Blackpool game he come on and scored? I believe it was Blackpool. At home, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was. Yeah, he's definitely got the potential to bag a brace if he plays on a good day, and especially someone's a youth talent that's just come from our youth ranks just to be plopped straight into the Championship and to be banging a brace or on a good day or a goal like you said there, instant impact versus Blackpool. It just shows he has got an extremely bright future, as has Ryan Andrews as well. Becoming our starting right back. over the likes of Hal Ferrer, who we bought in the summer, just to really occupy that space, and Jeremy Ngakia as well, who's also a very young English right back full of potential. So yeah, I feel like we do have a very bright future. I mean, obviously we've got a few players on loan. I think we've got Matty Pollock on loan still as well, who's ready to show. Yeah, who's ready. I know he's not youth, but he's ready to show his potential because he's still quite young. We've also got Adrian Blake as well, who I've not seen really make too many appearances, but I feel like he can definitely make an impact.
With Adrian Blake, I mean, you made a couple of. I think he made one championship appearance, then he made a couple of appearances in, I think, the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. But he's quite a frustrating one for me because he's got the interest of the likes of Tottenham, Manchester United. They're all interested in signing him. And I believe Watford have offered him professional contracts. Whether the contract is good enough for him to accept when he's got offers from big Premier League clubs, we'll have to wait and see. But me personally, if I was a Watford manager and I wanted a young player to sign a new deal, I would, I'd start them in games like this where there's nothing to play for. Go and show me what you're all about, and earn yourself a professional contract. And I don't know why we've not done that today. I think that's what's frustrated me even more.
Yeah, definitely. But I think I feel like we've got definitely a wealth of other youth talent that can definitely they can definitely cover that. I mean, we've got Shaq Ford as well, of Adrian Blake, who's smashing it for York City. So yeah, he can definitely. I feel like he can take the reins of our attack as well as Andy Emma.
That is national. Really I think with Shaq Ford, that is National League level though. So I think
that is
whether
true.
Can he take the step up to Championship straight away, or does he need maybe another loan to kind of build?
Yeah, I was going to say, unless he can move up his loan to, if we loan Amma again and he moves up to a club in the fourth division, League 2 or League 1, just depending on if he can really deal with that high intensity. There we go, high intensity. Professional level, because obviously he's not playing in a professional league. He's playing in the same league, I believe, as Wrexham, wasn't he?
Well, Shaq Ford would be,
So. Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's adapted well. I think, especially just coming off of loan and being in our youth ranks, he definitely adapted to the National League very well. Obviously, scored. I think he scored a hat-trick on his debut, didn't he?
I believe so. Yes, I know. The York City fans really like him. I've seen a few of them actually say they want him for next season as well. So whether that's an option for Watford. By the way, Watford have kicked off now. For the second half. And we're wearing the really lovely blue away kit, Cal. I know we discussed kits last time on the watch along.
Yes, we did.
Lovely blue away kit Watford are wearing today.
Also, I thought I'd just say, obviously, trying to get 720 subscribers, aren't you? That's your main aim.
Today, yes, 720 is the aim today. We've seen a lot of growth on the channel over the past week or so. So if we can try and aim for 720 today, that would be super. If you've got other Watford friends who have nothing to do on this Saturday afternoon, then share the stream with them, tell them to subscribe, and that would make my day a lot better. So 720 subscribers are the aim. But apart from that, as I said earlier, I appreciate the support I've seen on the channel over the past week or so. It's been absolutely phenomenal.
See if we can try and keep that support going for us to stream. All 11 people in here, if you haven't liked the stream already, make sure you just like it right now. It won't take a few seconds of your time. If you just quickly press that like button, see if we can try and get to 17 likes before we mention our next topic. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Of course, if you haven't subscribed already as well, make sure you do so. But anyway, back onto the topic of the kits. What are you saying?
No, I was just saying the blue away kit Watford are wearing today is really, really nice. But that's all I was saying, really. It's just a nice kit. I can appreciate a nice football kit. And we should really, to be honest, we should start getting leaks of the new Watford home kit soon. I mean, it's usually around late April, May that we start getting leaks of the new kit. So I'll be interested to see what our next kit looks like, to be honest. We said last week, my favourite kit is either the FA Cup final season or the first season we got promoted under Quique Sanchez Flores in the Puma kit. I really like that one. I think
2016-17 season kit.
It was 15-16 or 16-17. I get my dates mixed up, but you'll know the one I'm on about when you see it.
I'll search that up. Hold on a second.
Yeah, type in Puma Watford Premier League kit or something, and I'm sure it'll come up.
That's not the one.
Joshua Billingsley is in chat. I am a Sunderland fan. Hello, Joshua. How you doing, buddy? Yes, Sunderland. I expected more from you guys so far, actually. In my match preview, I was a bit pessimistic and said Watford would lose, 4 or 5-0. Maybe I was being a little bit ridiculous, but we've been so bad lately that, it's not out of the question. Joshua, what you made of the performance so far? Because, it's not been that great for me. You had a couple of opportunities. But yeah, apart from that, you've not looked that great today. I'm a little bit surprised how poor you guys have been. James, are you able to disclose the potential kit sponsors? I don't actually know who they are. All I've been told is Stake will no longer be the Watford sponsor for next season. And there's 2 new sponsors lined up. That's all I know. That is all I know so far.
I've heard that the WatfordWay are potentially in the running for that as well.
Yeah, I said earlier, I said how cool would it be if we could sponsor the shirts, but unfortunately myself and Cal are not multi-millionaires and we can't afford to do that. So
I mean, I would only dream one day of just having the Hornets House logo just placed right here. That'd be absolutely amazing.
We've had good sponsors. I mean, Coca-Cola was a good sponsor. Happy Egg Company was a good sponsor. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan of gambling companies on football shirts. I know they brought in a rule just recently from, I think, 2025. You're no longer allowed to sign a gambling sponsor as your front of shirt sponsor. So yeah, I think that's a good move from the Premier League. Really, I think that's much needed, because I think it ruins the kit. You can have a really nice kit, and then you can have like Bet365 plastered on the front of it, and it ruins it, doesn't it? So.
I've just seen the kit that you're on about as well, about the Puma kit. It has
it's the one with like the black lines going down.
Yeah.
It's
nice. It is nice. Yeah, and also as well, it's got the black away kit, the black and white away kit.
Black. Yeah. Are you a black shorts or a red shorts kind of guy for the Watford home kit? So you got a yellow shirt. Are you going black shorts or red shorts?
I think we'll try and keep it up with our logo. I mean, I know we have a huge, massive red heart in the middle of it, but I think black makes it look a bit more classy. That's just my opinion. I think red, it would be a statement, that's for sure. But I think black or white shorts, like we have here, we had
white.
The blue and the white.
A shout, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think that's the classic short colour, just to make it seem a bit more classy. I mean, I know don't Norwich play with either green or yellow shorts, or do they play with white?
I'm not sure. I'm not a Norwich City expert, unfortunately, Cal.
There's a chance here for Sunderland. That's a great save, but the rebound comes in and it is just missed.
Oh, you're just ahead of me, Cal, actually, again, by about 5 seconds. Good save, though, from Daniel Batman there, keeping Watford in the game.
That's a great save by Batman.
Is Batman for you, Cal? I don't think we've ever discussed Batman's future at Watford really on one of these streams. Is he someone you'd look to keep? Because he does have a mistake in him, but I just think at the moment our priorities are elsewhere, and we've got a decent shot stopper in Batman. He does have a mistake in him. However, I think the majority of the time you can rely on him to save Watford in most situations. I think if we can get a new goalkeeper in, then that's great. But is he a priority to move on for you in the summer, or are you not really bothered if Batman stays or goes?
It's a bit of a tough one. I'm on the fence with this one because I feel like he's been at the club for so long. I feel like he can really make he's a real asset to the changing room, I feel. So even if he doesn't play many games next season, because like you said, that he has a mistake in him, and we do prioritise the likes of Okoye or something like that. I mean, I don't think that will happen. I reckon we'll still stay with Backman, sadly, because I think he's just that much of a club legend. But yeah,
well, club legend's too far.
Yeah, okay, probably not club legend, but I mean, probably not club legend, but he stayed there for a while.
He's been here for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I don't think we'll prioritise any of the youth goalkeepers, because I think Okoye, I don't think many of the fans rate him that highly, which is a bit sad.
Yeah, but we've only seen him twice. We've seen him twice this season. Yes, he has looked very shaky in both games. I mean, I was there for both of his appearances. And he looks very, very shaky, but you can't judge a goalkeeper on 2 games, I don't think. I mean, it's very. I mean, we did pay quite a high fee for him as well. That's the more frustrating thing for me.
Yeah, I think give him a few more years and really just kind of put him in FA Cup games, Carabao Cup games, so he can really, improve his confidence instead of, consistently starting in the league where there's such a high intensity. Then, maybe that'll build his confidence back up a bit. Just so, he gets to feel the way this Watford team play and how our defence gels with him. I think in a sense, and that'll kind of determine if he does get a starting spot next season. So it's kind of starting with cup competitions. That's what I'd say, and hopefully he can really build up his confidence and his know-how in that sense. But for now, I probably would stick with Bachmann. That could be a controversial decision. And if any of you in the comments as well would like to get involved in that, would you start Daniel Bachmann next season, or how about you put a poll?
I've done a few polls today already. I've done an in-man user poll. I'll do a Daniel Bachmann keep or sell poll actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I'd like to give
surprisingly, the loser poll did earlier, Cal, was about 75% sell Imran loser, which I didn't think. Yeah, I thought it would be more keep loser, but actually it was yeah, interesting result there. There you go. You guys can vote in the poll on YouTube now. Daniel Bachmann, sell or keep. Let us know in the chat. And yes, Sunderland having the best opportunity so far in this second half, I should say. 10 minutes gone now. Bachmann pulling off a good reaction save, and of course Sunderland, Cal, they really need to be pushing in this second half because they need to win today to get back into them player positions. And yeah, it'll be a massive blow for them if they lost to Watford today. So the Sunderland fans are up for it. Are the players? I don't know. But yeah, Sunderland are gonna have to find something from somewhere because they need to score 2 goals and they need to win this football match today. So yeah, I'm interested to see the reaction that the Sunderland players give.
Well, yeah, I mean, if Swansea stop drawing and they start winning, and then West Brom and Blackburn, they do have to win their game in hand, and they get knocked straight back down to 10th. So
is it really they'll go down that far?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Wow. It's so tight knit.
It's just a shame that we couldn't have just picked up another couple of wins.
I was going to say, if we were a bit more consistent, we really did get on the ball with winning results. We'd actually be quite high up right now. But
all we needed, really, if you think about it, is just 2. We just needed 2 extra wins, really, and we'd be up there.
It's a shame. It really is, and like you said there, it's too little, too late. And I think that's kind of been the microcosm of our season, really, that we just leave things right to the very last second. And it's been a travesty. But hopefully, our next season, 23-24, is looking a bit more positive. Obviously, with the 30 million that we just accrued via Joao Pedro, hopefully that can be used to really strengthen places around the squad. And obviously, I think the sale of Sarr as well will be imminent, so we have to prepare for that and prepare how much money we're going to get for him. Will it be actually? Do you think it will be as much money as we've got for Joao Pedro?
Oh no, I think Pedro was different because he signed a new contract last year until 2028. The club never announced it, but Adam Leventhal did on The Athletic. So Pedro was under contract for another 5 years at Watford anyway, which I think helped alleviate his value. And that was obviously a deliberate move by Watford, knowing he would move in the future. Whereas Sarr, 1 year left in his contract. It's going to be difficult for me to maybe get more than 15 million. I think 15 million is a good fee for Sarr at the moment. I think we're more looking at around the 10 million mark, which is a shame because we invested so much into him in terms of the transfer fee and the wages we've been paying him. But we need the money. We need the money desperately. We need new players in the club. And I think that's about the right fee, Cal, don't you? 10, 15 million?
Around that, I'd probably push it and say if we can try and get 15, 20 million, that'd be also quite beneficial. Well, I also
with 1 year left in his contract.
Yeah, it's a bit controversial. I'll discuss that a bit more in a minute, but I can just say there's a sub coming on now. It's Leandro Pacuna who's coming on, I think, for Yasser Asprilla.
I mean, you'd say that's more a defensive substitution, wouldn't you, there from Chris Wilder?
Yeah, I think he's just trying to cover all ground now and make sure that we do, if we can grind out this 1-0 victory, then we can do. But Asprilla has come off for Leandro Pacuna.
Quick question, Cal. You got any plans for this bank holiday weekend? You do anything this evening or tomorrow or on Monday? Because earlier the sun was out. I was just lying in the garden reading a book, enjoying my life. That's what I was doing earlier today.
Well, to be early today, I had something come up really, so I couldn't really, join this stream, which is annoying. I mean, I think I would have been there to see the Cabaselli go on.
Yes, which is funny. It's a funny moment.
that would have been a funny moment. I think we definitely would have milked that to the cows come home, quite literally. But then, I think I'll watch this game, see what the result is, and then depending on how well we do, it's Saturday as well. I might treat myself to maybe a beer or two down my local pub.
Okay, you're gonna get some food or anything like that, like a pizza, Domino's.
Oh, I might do. It might be a takeaway night tonight. I mean, I did get paid a bit recently as well, so hopefully, I could treat myself.
Good stuff. I've had a couple of takeaways this week, actually. I had a McDonald's on Monday, and then I had a pizza.
Oh, no. Have you had another one? Another McDonald's?
No, I had McDonald's on Monday. Oh, wait. Was that last week? Wait,
I was going to say, because we were discussing your McDonald's order. Yeah, so you had it on the day that we played Hull.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I've
only had one since we spoke.
So, what did you have on Monday then?
What? When did I last have a McDonald's?
Well, I can't tell you that, mate.
I don't know. Anyway, I had a Mackey's, and then I had a pizza a couple of days ago as well, because I'm greedy. So
it happens. Everyone has that week where we're just like, I can't be bothered to cook. We're just gonna.
I've been doing lots of exercise, so I've ate it and then I've worked it off, so it cancels out really.
5K run, definitely.
Literally, I've done like 3 or 4 of them this week actually.
That's not bad, 20K. I'll take that.
But yeah, Sunderland pushing forward here. Basically, all the Watford players are back defending. Referee's blown up for a Sunderland free kick. In quite a good position, probably a bit too far out to shoot. But yeah, good position here for Sunderland to maybe create something from a set piece here.
Yeah, I understand. I was quickly seeing now to see if I think that's
Davis with the foul, actually, wasn't it?
I forgot who that Sunderland player is. He's called Pritchard, I do believe. That Sunderland player taking, yeah. Let's see how well he does. I reckon he'll go for it. I reckon he'll probably whip it into the box, because I know Sunderland are quite dangerous.
Harry says he had a McDonald's last night, Cal, by the way. Let us know your Mackey's order, Harry, and we'll judge it out of 10. We'll give you a 10 out of 10 rating, depending on what you ordered.
I mean, it's annoying because I can't order a Mackey's near me because I don't have a Just Eat option, which is so annoying. I have to sell.
Do you have a Mackey's? You must have one near you in the vicinity of your area. There always is one.
I have one which I can drive to. It's like maybe 10-15 minute drive. So I can't.
They don't need delivery from that.
No, it's not, because it's right on the back of a motorway. So you can't actually.
Is it like a service station one or something?
It's kind of, but it's solely devoted just to having McDonald's. There's a Premier Inn right next, which is very odd. I don't know why they have that there, but the Premier Inn, and then they have a McDonald's just right next to it. So it's kind of a service station just for McDonald's, really. So you can't actually have it delivered to you. So I mean, it's annoying, but I'm settling with second best, I'd say, which is KFC.
What do you have anything else around you? Do you have like any Indian takeaways, Chinese, anything like that, or are you quite?
We do have a Chinese takeaway. There's been our trust. I think everyone on their block has like a trusty Chinese takeaway that they can always go to.
We've got about 3 different Chinese takeaways in our town.
Yeah, so I do have Alsis. We've got so Harry Plays has put chicken and bacon crispy wrap. I'll try it again.
Oh, that's a good choice, Harry. Chicken and bacon crispy wrap. Well done.
Large Coke. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice to be fair. I've never actually really tried one of the wraps before. I was going to try it. I'm not a fan of
Coca-Cola though. Coca-Cola is probably the only fizzy drink I'm not really a massive fan of. I don't really like the taste of Coke. It's quite controversial, but
are you going for like a Fanta or a Sprite? What are you going for?
Yeah, usually it's a Fanta or a Sprite, really. I mean, to be honest, I don't drink that many fizzy drinks. I mean, I've always got like a bottle of water. or something like that. But I find fizzy drinks bloat me quite a lot. So. But yeah, Fanta I like, or like a nice cold Sprite's always nice as well. James has gone for a large Coke, fries, and a 20 nugget share box. I ordered 20 nuggets actually the other day as well.
They're really popular, the 20 nugget share box.
Although I don't eat all 20. I shared it with my brother because I just thought I'm not eating 20. It's too much. It was too much.
Is it 10 each you get?
Yeah, we did 10 each, and then I got a cheeseburger. And I had fries. So I had 10 nuggets, fries.
Jesus Christ, more than I get. There's more than I get. I get
I've got McFlurry as well.
Yeah, so I'm practically the same as you, to be honest. I mean, just minus 4 nuggets. So I get a triple cheeseburger, a a 6-nugget meal, a large 6-nugget meal,
Yeah.
with Coke and mozzarella dippers if they have any, and then
Yeah.
McFlurry. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I get.
Interesting stuff. Good chat. Good McDonald's chat.
It's a very good chat. We kind of diverted off of the game, but it's always good to have a.
Well, there's not really
McDonald's
much going on.
roundup.
Batman made that good save, as you mentioned. I mean, Sunderland are obviously pushing a lot of players forward, but Watford defending well so far. I've just got that inevitable feeling how that Watford will capitulate at some point, as we saw against Cardiff very quickly.
That's what I'm thinking.
They scored them 3 goals in 10 minutes, Cardiff, and Watford just went to shit, really. So it can all happen quickly in football, can't it?
Exactly. Yeah, football's such an unpredictable sport. Like 1 minute you could be. I mean, it was proven against what was it? It was against Man United. Tottenham had a massive comeback, and no one really expected that. I mean, especially with like the Southampton Arsenal game as well. Southampton was 3-1 up, so anything can really happen in football. And I just hope to God, making that defensive substitution, taking off Asprilla, who's a lot more attacking minded than Bakuna. It just shows that Chris Wilder can maybe be covering ground just to try and grind out this 1-0 victory.
I want to talk about not this Watford game briefly, but I want to talk about the Man City Arsenal game, because I believe you watched it. I mean, you messaged me actually during the game, I think.
I did, yes.
It was a superb game of football to watch, wasn't it? I mean, Erling Haaland, my goodness. Imagine Haaland against his Watford defence. We would get absolutely obliterated. His hold-up play, his passing, his finishing, he has everything. He's incredible. I
mean, if Haaland wants to come to the Vic anytime soon, if he does get out of our contract, then I'll happy to take him with open arms. I think we'd have to put our life savings as fans into the club's trust fund if we ever want to have a chance of getting him. But I think he's just ridiculous. He's an alien. Let's be honest. Now
De Bruyne as well had a superb game, didn't he? As well.
He did. Yeah, I think Haaland. He's just an alien, isn't he? Like he's just got a ridiculous amount of goals in him. It's just unbelievable. I just want to quickly say as well, there's been a bit of a scrap here, it looks like, between some of these Sunderland and Watford players. I think Davis there just pushed on the ground, but I think that's all been resolved now.
Oh, it's just, you get that every game, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I think Haaland, it's going to be, I think the new Cristiano Ronaldo versus Lionel Messi debate is going to be overshadowed in a few years by Haaland versus Mbappe. I think definitely. And right now, who would you take, Haaland or Mbappe?
I would probably take. I mean, I love Haaland. Haaland's probably my favourite current player, other than Watford, of course. In world football, I really like what Erling Haaland offers. However, I think for his all-round game and his dribbling ability and his pure pace in behind, I think Kylian Mbappe, as an overall football player, offers more than Haaland does. So yeah, for me, I would go Mbappe. He's won a World Cup as well. He's won numerous titles in France, albeit that doesn't mean much at PSG. But
he scored a hat trick in the World Cup final.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'd go at this moment in time. If I wanted to sign one of them, Mbappe, but equally, I think they're both superb. I'm sure we can appreciate both players equally.
Yeah, also as well, I just want to quickly mention as well about the Man City game. Arsenal, I think, now have bottled the league. I think it is over now. I mean, 2 games in hand. City, I'll find it so funny if City do lose those 2 games. I can't.
Well, this is it. I mean, I know we're all saying City will go and win all the rest of their games. However, it's football. Anything can happen. I'm always the positive guy in these situations, but it's more than feasible that City can still drop points. Whether Arsenal will carry on winning the rest of their tricky fixtures they've got, we'll have to wait and see. I think they've got Newcastle, Brighton and Chelsea still to play Arsenal. It's not over, Cal, is it? I mean, it pretty much probably is over, realistically. But from an optimistic perspective, it's not over till it's over. And it's not yet over. So there's still a chance.
There is still a chance, definitely. I think. So the next 2 games that City have got. Wait, I want to see Watford are on the attack here quickly. I'll move on to that. I think it's a bit too heavy there for Ken Sema. He has still got it. Seeing what you can do with it quickly. Before I mention about.
Yeah, he's over on that far corner. He lays it off here to Kamara. Actually,
it's a good attack, but he does go wide. I think it's going to be either be a goal kick or a corner. I can't tell which one. But yes, the next 2 games are Fulham and West Ham, I think, for City. So if they can,
I mean,
I reckon they will.
Fulham are quite a tricky team to play this season, aren't they?
They are, but I feel like they have faltered in form recently. But I think that they have dropped down the table quite significantly.
Yeah, I don't think. I can't remember what the game was, but I think it was the game when Mitrovic and Marco Silva both got sent off. I don't think that helps them at all, really.
Also, as well, I thought to quickly mention as well, just having a look at the table. I mean, Fulham are 10th, but then I just want to say as well, due to the absolute.
Watford have scored!
Way!
Ryan Porteous!
Ryan Porteous, yeah, I was just looking at that. Get in, 2-0.
From another corner.
2-0 Watford.
So
That is
both
what I
our
like to see.
centre-backs have scored today.
And then again, it's all good, obviously celebrating another Watford goal. And now probably that's lights out. Now I reckon that's a Watford win. But yeah,
wow. Look, let's just watch this replay, Cal, quickly, because he does really well there. He runs into a good area, and yet there's no one really marking him. There is a player there trying to get to Ryan, but he does well. He jumps above the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, it's another header. It's another goal that we scored with us.
Yeah, it's actually really similar. It's pretty much exactly the same as the Kabasele goal. When you get the chance, Cal, go on Twitter or something. Find the Kabasele goal because they're both very similar.
Yeah, like I said there, yeah, it's all good celebrating another Watford goal and potentially probably another Watford win now. I think, like, again, it's too little, too late. I mean, that's not going to make much an impact of what we have in the table. So, yeah, it's a shame.
Fair play to Imran Loser as well. Both corners, superb deliveries, and 2 assists for Imran Loser today.
That's why I was surprised people saying that they're going to sell him or they want to sell him.
Oh, Sunderland hit the bar.
Oh, it's all kicking off now.
See
what's going on here again. See them whipping it back into the box. It's a volley attempt here. It's 2-1.
And Sunderland have scored. It is all going on in this match.
What's happened here?
Scores for Sunderland. It's 2-1. The crowd are up. And I think this is where, Cal, the Watford capitulation may begin.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We are still winning. Don't say that. I mean, it's all come alive just out of absolutely
that
nowhere.
Happened very quickly. We've gone from one end to the other, Cal. Is Daniel Batman maybe a question here?
I'm just having a look at the goal now. I mean, to be fair, I think there was a lucky rebound in there. I think at one point. I'm just having a look at the replay now. I'm quite close to action. Yeah. So I think it was a. Oh, here we go. Yeah. So a half volley was attempted in. I think it landed to a Sunderland player quite luckily in the middle of the box. I don't think it was meant to land to him. But yeah,
it used to be at Watford actually. Luke O'Nien, I believe, as well.
Yeah. So sorry for that alarm, by the way. Just, anyway. Yeah. Yeah,
if it's a fire alarm, please leave because I don't want.
It's not a fire alarm; it's a phone alarm. So yeah, I'm very glad it's not the emergency alarm as well, which I'm glad you're glad to hear. But yeah, yeah, this game's come alive out of nowhere. I think, yeah, 2-1, and it was 1-0. A very quite a boring game.
So literally within the space of I'd say about a minute, we've gone Watford 2-0 up, cruising.
Yeah, and then 2-1 up in like 2 minutes later.
And now they always say 2-0 is the most dangerous scoreline in football. And straight away, Sunderland.
Still on the attack here.
Here they are again.
Taking another shot. Oh,
I thought that was going in.
I was as well. Oh, boys, come on, man.
This is it. I told you the capitulation's going to happen now.
We can't bottle this now.
I'd be gutted. I'd say I'd be gutted. There's not. I mean, what is there to be gutted about? Really, nothing. But
I thought I'd also just say as well. Brighton are properly giving it to Wolves. Brighton are 6-0 up versus Wolves.
Joao Pedro's new club as well, Cal.
6-0. Jesus Christ! It's an absolute.
I mean, they lost their last match, Brighton, I believe. I can't remember who they played against, but I suppose they're just making up for their last result, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're losing against Nottingham Forest. They definitely come back in full force. They definitely bounce back.
I mean, a 6-0 win in the Premier League's not easy. You have to give Brighton so much credit for what they're achieving this season. It's really.
Yeah, speaking of 6 goals that clubs have scored, I want to quickly speak about Newcastle. What a season they've had! Absolutely.
Oh my
remarkable.
God! Did you see the Alexander Isak?
Oh my days!
Goal. It was absolutely insane. Like
it was genuinely. it was Neymar-esque. Literally, his
Go
dribbling
on
was
Twitter and
Neymar-esque.
just type in Alexander Isaac dribble, because it was for a guy as well, Cal, who's as tall as he is and as lanky as Isaac is. It was incredible. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Genuinely,
The Everton defending was piss poor, but what a dribble from
yeah,
Alexander
it was
Isaac.
like I said there, it was Neymar-esque. Literally, it had so much skill to it. It was incredible. He parred off 2 defenders. I think he turned Michael Keane off a shot there, but Daniel Backman does deal with it. But yeah, it was just an absolutely incredible turn all the way down the left-hand side, and I think he was right up to near where there would be a corner. I think it's right to near where the goal is, and then played it in Jacob Murphy, and he tapped it in. It's absolutely incredible. And Isaac's gonna be a problem, I think, next season. I think he's gonna be a real problem.
He's insane. I mean, I think he scored 2 goals in the game where they beat Tottenham as well. And yeah, Newcastle are. I mean, they've been taken over by these rich people, let's just say, and they're going to be a real force because they're going to get Champions League qualification. They're going to sign, new sponsor deals. I know they've got a big shirt sponsor deal lined up for, I believe, about £25 million per season as well, and that just gives them more and more spending power. And for a club in the Champions League, you can attract the best players in the world. And Newcastle are going to be a force to be reckoned with in these coming years. And fair play to the Newcastle fans; they've really hit the jackpot with their owners. And yeah, it is what it is. Watford just have to deal with what we got at the moment, and hopefully, the way we operate, we can get to that level eventually. But we're going to have to do it in a way that's more sustainable, I suppose.
I mean, if we ever do get taken over by Saudi owners, I think I'm going to do a few front flips because that's going to be absolutely incredible.
I mean, I have to play devil's advocate here in the sense that, of course, it would be great to have a lot of money invested into the club. However, the question always comes up, Cal, about the issues that are currently ongoing
especially about being unethical and stuff like that. I think that was definitely brought into question when Newcastle were taken over, because I think originally it was put on hold because of the ethics of the company that was taking them over before it did eventually get approved. So
right.
You have to be careful with this kind of stuff. I think obviously as well with the Qatari owners now going in for Manchester United. I think you've got to be really careful with the wealth of the owners and how legitimate their money really is, because it takes one season where you can pump in loads of cash, and the next season it can really be a detriment to you. And I think that's. I hope Newcastle don't suffer with that withdrawal. I think they haven't spent as big as what we thought they would have. Next year, I mean, they brought in Botman, who I think is quality, by the way.
Isaac was about 40 million. So that's quite a big outlay. But apart from that, Trippier was not. I believe.
I mean, I have read if they do qualify the Champions League, which I think they have now. I think they have definitely got Champions League football. They are given a war chest next season of about 120 million, is what I've read.
Okay.
So yeah, that can definitely. I don't reckon they'll spend it on 3 big players, 40 million plus. I think they'll definitely they'll use to strengthen around the squad, because I think they've been linked to every player under the sun of all the transfer rumors that I've read. So it'll be interesting to see.
I even saw stuff about Declan Rice potentially going there, which would be. I think that would be the wrong move for Declan Rice's career, but to even be linked with someone like him who would normally go to a Man United, a Chelsea, or like a Liverpool or an Arsenal, I think it's for Newcastle to maybe get a Mason Mount, a Declan Rice, a James Maddison, a Tielemans. In the past year they've come on leaps and bounds, really.
Just want to say here, Mark Deshay's put in the comment, haven't felt this relaxed all season about getting overrun once again.
I told you this, Cal. It's going to happen. Mark my words. Yeah. We've got 15 minutes left of this match, pretty much. Watford will lose.
Okay, if it happens, I'll be disappointed for sure. But then I
thought you were give me you were gonna bet me £100 or something.
No, unfortunately not. As much as you want to dream that, unfortunately not. Obviously see Watford.
Here's Ismaila Sarr though,
and that's definitely a foul.
That should be yellow card as well, Cal. Really.
Yeah, that's a yellow card there. I think that's 409.
It is, yeah. The goal scorer for Sunderland.
Yep. 13 people watching. I thought I'd just quickly remind you as well, we are trying to get James to 720 subs by the end of the stream. If you guys haven't subbed already, if you can share the stream around to all your Watford friends and family, that'd be absolutely amazing. Just to see if we can try and get into that goal as well. And if you also, the 12 people in the chat right now who haven't hit the like button, make sure you do. Let's see if we can try and get to 17 likes in a few minutes' time. That'd be absolutely brilliant. And that's all. I thought just to remind you, if you can like the stream, that'd be well appreciated.
Thank you, Cal, my wonderful assistant.
Anytime. I'm always there for
anytime. 12 minutes to go now left in this game. Is a draw good enough for Sunderland, Cal? Can you just remind us? So at the moment, as it stands, actually, yeah, maybe. Let's have a look at the live championship table. Oh no, they would need to win as it stands because Coventry are winning. If Coventry were losing, then a draw would have been good enough to move Sunderland back into the top 6. But because Coventry are winning, it's not going to be good enough, unfortunately.
I mean, it all happens. I mean, if we don't capitulate and we do end up winning this game, it's all dependent on what Swansea do for the rest of them, and it's what West Brom and what Blackburn do because they also have a game in hand. So if they win both their games, Sunderland will probably drop out of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's all drama. I think Sarr is definitely just trying to recover from his injury. They've got 79 minutes played, 11 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Let's hope. Yeah, that's really. I thought you were meant to be the positive fan.
I am meant to be the positive guy, but I've seen enough this season now to suggest that Watford will bottle this lead quite easily. I mean, maybe because we're away from home, there's not as much pressure. I suppose when we're at Vicarage Road and everyone's booing you and saying you're not fit to wear the shirt, it must be a little bit distracting, right? Whereas you're away from home.
Watford chance. Oh, that could be a penalty appeal in the box there, but nothing to give in. There's another shot. Oh, it's all pandemonium in the box.
Was that a penalty, Cal? I suppose we have to wait for the replay on that.
I think it was a penalty.
It doesn't look like Davis is protesting too much.
It'd be interesting to see what the.
What's this Sunderland player pointing at his chest?
I don't know what he's doing.
What is wrong with this guy? Bit angry, isn't he?
And now the Sunderland manager's having a bit of a go as well.
So who's Sunderland's last game then?
Let's quickly check. It is against Preston. So literally the people right next to them in the table.
Right. That's interesting. I mean, the last day of the championship is going to be mental in terms of who's going to finish in them last couple of spots in the playoffs, really. Also as well, I thought just quickly, as there's not much going on now, I thought just quickly give you a score update across all the big leagues. So first of all, in the Premier League... Can I just say, by the way, before you give us the score update, I believe there's only 2 games actually on in the Premier League at this moment in time. There's only 2 games on. Is. Yeah.
And one of them is an absolute battering, and that's Brighton versus Wolves. Brighton 6, Wolves 0. We've also got Brentford versus Nottingham Forest, and Brentford surprisingly losing to Nottingham Forest at the moment, 1-0. And in the Championship, just thought quickly give a bit more of a
game. Go on.
Of a recap. Yep. So sadly, Watford are sorry. What?
Sadly.
Yeah, guys. I was thinking if we do capitulate. Sorry. Watford are happily winning 2-1. So we have indeed. Come on. We have Millwall versus Blackpool. That happened yesterday. Millwall managed to get the win there at the last gasp of a 3-2 victory. We've got Coventry winning 2-0 against Birmingham. We've got Hull City, the people who we unfortunately did lose against last game, against Swansea, who are drawing 1-1. That's a good result for Hull. We've got Reading, who are actually losing against Wigan. Wigan right down at the very bottom, and they've actually managed to win 2 games on the bounce.
This is it. Wigan have to win today to survive. So if Wigan win today, they still have the chance to keep their championship hopes alive. And yeah, if Wigan failed to win today, they would have been relegated. So a massive result for Wigan there.
Definitely, 100%. We've got Burnley, who are continuing their winning ways as they've been absolutely scary this season versus Bristol. They're winning 2-1.
Absolutely scary. That's an interesting way to describe them.
I mean, they've absolutely pissed the league. Let's be completely honest. Yeah, I reckon I'll stay up next season in the Premier League. But yeah, we've got Sheffield, who are winning 3-1 against Preston, and we've got QPR, who are winning 1-0 against Stoke City.
QPR are winning, are they?
Yeah, against Stoke City, against the people who we're playing against next.
Yeah, Stoke City, Watford's next opponents, and our last opponents in this championship season, which of
And
course
very happily,
we want.
and it's going to be the last game of the season at the Vic as well. So that's always a bit of a bonus.
It is. It's not a bonus. I do love Vicarage Road, Cal. Don't do it that much of a disservice, but
it's going to be a bit of a
game,
it'll be toxic.
Last game, seeing Joao Pedro in a Watford shirt potentially. We don't know what's going to happen next week. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said he won't play for Watford again. So whether we take that as truth, I don't know. I probably would. Fabrizio is quite a reliable journalist, but I'm sure Joao will be there. I'm sure he'll do a round around the pitch just to say goodbye to all the Watford fans. And that's going to be a sad moment because he's the one player I personally have had the most connection with since Troy Deeney left the club. So it's going to be sad. It's going to be frustrating. But also you have to remember Watford are where we are in the footballing world at the moment. We're not a Premier League club. We can't keep our most talented players at the club. Even if we wish to. So I think for Joao, he's going on to a great club in Brighton, really well run, great manager, great playing style as well. He'll thrive there. We still get to watch him in England as well, Cal. I think that's the good thing. We still get to watch him week in, week out on TV. And maybe, he might even be playing European football next season. They might get, Conference League or Europa League. So we may see Joao Pedro in Europe potentially, Cal, next season.
That'd be amazing, and that's why I'm really, really happy to see him move to a club like Brighton, because I think they're run exceptionally well. Tony Bloom is an incredible owner, and also as well, just saying there, Joao Pedro being their record signing just kind of proves, or kind of puts it in a macrocosm as to how well their scouting team is. I mean, bringing in players like Matoma, Caicedo. So many players that they have, that are still quite young and have a lot of potential.
Caicedo, I love Caicedo so much.
He's incredible. Yeah, he's an absolute workhorse. And the way they found him over, I think it was over in Ecuador. Yeah, it's amazing, their recruitment system. And I can really see them. They make extremely high profits as well as the players that they sell. So, yeah, I reckon he'll definitely thrive. I mean, he's been playing as kind of our striker, hasn't he, for the season? Obviously, without the arrival of Kean Davis, he's been playing more of our goal-orientated forward. So I reckon he will overtake the likes of Undav and Welbeck to probably get that starter spot, because I don't think you pay 30 million for him not to start week in, week out. So
no.
Hopefully, we can see him bag a few goals, because he has proved it in the Prem before. And it's going to be a really nice moment when he does open up his Premier League account for Brighton. And if they do get Europa League, Conference League, that can be even better to see how well he does in European competitions. And then I think if he does well in those competitions, where he gets a few goals, I think we can say he'll do probably a lot better than what Richarlison has, because he's still not got a goal yet in the Premier League.
Yeah, Richarlison is an interesting one, because I watched the Man United Tottenham match. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. But Richarlison actually looks really, really good. He's just not really found his goal scoring touch for Tottenham. I know Antonio Conte didn't really play him that much. There's a lot of substitute appearances, which is always difficult for a striker. But for £60 million, which is what they paid for Richarlison, you have to expect a bigger goal output than what he's achieved so far. Ultimately, don't you?
Definitely. I think as well as also his ego is kind of, I think, overtaking him a bit as well, which is really, really sad to see. I mean, you saw in their defeat to there was a 0-0 draw to AC Milan, which knocked them out obviously the Champions League. He did have that bit of an outburst, I think, in one of the press conferences, just saying, that he should have got more minutes, I think, in a way, and how Conte.
Oh, really? Oh, I do remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think Antonio Conte actually agreed with him.
Yeah, but I think as well. I think he also lashed out at him as well, didn't he? Saying that if he actually did start scoring, he would get more chances or something like that. So, yeah, it's a shame to see what's happened. Hopefully, he does get that chance next season. I want to quickly say as well, there's a new sub that's been coming on. Wesley Hoot for Ryan Andrews has just been
Ryan
made.
Andrews, good performance. Very good performance. He had a shot in the first half, really good shot, parried by the Sunderland goalkeeper. It would have been a superb goal. And again, Cal, Ryan Andrews, academy graduate, he's started, I think, 5 games in a row now for Watford in that right back position. It's been quality, isn't he? Really good, 18 years old, quality, consistent, good mentality. He's come up through the club since he was about 5 years old, I believe, as well. That is what we like to see.
He definitely is one of our own, and I don't think that starting will stop if he's putting in performances like that. We have Joao Pedro. So we don't have Joao Pedro anymore. We have Joao Ferreira. That's it.
Yes.
We have Joao Ferreira, and we have Jeremy Ngakia. I mean, very interested to see what happens with them if they do. If they start any games next season. I feel like Chris Wilder, he's utilised the best out of Andrews, and to see who our new manager is going to be. Will they utilise Andrews in the way that they have that Wilder has, or will they stick with the trusty Ferreira or Ngakia because of how much we pay for him? Essentially, it'd be interesting to see what happens. But I think if Andrew doesn't get as much starts as what we're anticipating to, it would be a real shame because I think he's putting some really good shifts, and he shows he has passion for the team. He's obviously bigger since 5 years old. He wants the team to do well, as do we, and he's shown that with his performances on the pitch.
Not long left to go in this Sunderland game now. At a minute and a half left of normal time.
Sunderland are on the attack here.
They are on the attack.
Going to whip it into the box, but it is blocked over. But it could be a shot for Sunderland. It is absolutely blasted into his head.
Big chance there to equalise. And that's Jack
big
Clark for
chance.
Sunderland. He's blasted that over from inside the penalty area. I mean, you have to say, Hamza Chowdhury there closes down the angle. But you'd expect, if that's Watford, I'd hope my striker would at least hit the target from that, from that distance from goal. Sunderland fans are leaving, actually.
Yeah, some of the Sunderland fans leaving. Yeah, I can see that.
It must be frustrating to be in a position where, I know Watford were close to the playoffs at one point, but to be 2 games away from making the playoffs and to bottle it away to a poor Watford side, if I was a Sunderland fan, I'd probably be quite pissed off with that as well.
Well, it isn't over just yet. You've still got probably injury time to see if you can try and find an equaliser.
I mean, I never personally leave any games early. I mean, I stayed till the end for the Cardiff game, the Huddersfield game. I watched Watford get beat 6-7-0 by Man City. I stayed till the end every time. I paid that was the FA Cup final, wasn't it? Yeah, you paid for your ticket. You don't go home early, in my opinion. You support the team through thick and thin. Yes, it's frustrating. Yeah. Yes, it's annoying. But ultimately, there's only so much you can do from the stands. And if you leave and, for example, the FA Cup, if you left and you missed Deeney's penalty or you missed Delafeu's goal, then more for you. You should have stayed until the end, in my opinion.
Definitely, 100%. And also, I think many people try to beat the traffic almost in a way. If they want to try and leave, but ultimately, this a bit of a poor excuse. If you're there, you've paid the ticket, and you want to obviously support the team, even if it's 2-3-0. There's not really much way of coming back. And like I said, football's unpredictable, and we could and there could be another goal or two in the game for your team. So I think
for some reason, there's 7 minutes added time.
I was going to mention that before.
Where has that come from? There's not really been a big injury from what I remember, has there?
Obviously, the referees are Geordies.
Maybe so.
Here comes a chance. And speaking about that, it is a blocked chance on the edge of the box. And Watford, they are in a bit of control now.
I mean, what you would say is the Sunderland draw still gives them hope going into the final day. So if Sunderland can get a goal back here.
There's no penalty given there. That was a penalty appeal, though, definitely. I think
there's been 3 or 4 penalty appeals this game for both sides, now you mention it, actually.
Just having a look here. What's that penalty? Was there shoving the ball? Don't.
I'd say that's a penalty.
I would as well.
I think there's a lot of shirt pulling going on there from Jeremy Ngakia.
What a shot!
Oh.
I thought it was going in. For some weird reason, I thought that was nearly going in.
I did as well. I think it's just the camera angle, isn't it? Some grounds, the camera, sometimes if a shot hits like the side netting, it sometimes looks like it's gone in at some grounds for some reason. But yeah, here's Keenan Davis trying to hold up the ball for Watford. He keeps hold of it, goes down, referee gives a free kick to Watford.
I think we can just kind of play this out, kind of loiter it out, float a bit, and I think we definitely will see this game out. Just don't make any stupid mistakes. Like we have.
Harry says on fans leaving early as well. He said it doesn't help the players' confidence as well, seeing fans leaving early. And I think me and Cal both agree with that comment.
Very much so. Very much so.
Come
Gonna
on,
be a goal
Watford.
kick.
Come on.
We've got about how long left now? About 4.5 minutes left. See if we can try and hold on. I'm hoping that we can. If we just stay solid defensively and we don't make any stupid mistakes, like I said there, like I think we've definitely been prone to doing quite a lot this season, then we should see this game out quite easily.
What have you made of Sunderland today then, just generally? Obviously, at this point of the game, you usually sum up our thoughts. What have you made of them generally? Obviously, you've only watched the second half. But first half, I thought they were really poor, Cal, in my opinion. Watford deserved to go ahead. Yes, they had a couple of chances, but nothing clear cut really. And I suppose for a team who wants to get promoted, these are the games that you have to be winning. So I'm surprised Sunderland haven't offered more than they have really, but still a few minutes to go here, and it could all change in a matter of seconds. And here's Sunderland on the attack.
Coming in here, trying for another volley. And it's being headed back into the box. It's pandemonium in there, but it's cleared by Watford.
Cleared by Cabasele there. And it's all Sunderland at the moment, Cal.
It is. I'm getting worried. I won't lie. There's still quite a bit of time on the clock as well.
Come on, Watford. Just prove to us that we aren't bottle jobs for one match. Come on.
Good
I've got a bottle
there
of water here. You don't want to be bottle jobs, guys. Prove to me you're not a bottle.
So I think you're going to threaten to hit them with a water bottle to lose. It's like, I've got a water bottle. Do not make me use it.
Come on. I'm holding on to my bottle now. Let's just get this win over the line.
Do these players
on,
have the
boys.
bottle to not be a bottle?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We are really testing our patience here.
2.5 minutes left to go. Still with Sunderland.
Sunderland are being
Watford.
relentless at the moment. It's been all them consistently. It's been yo-yo football. Goes into the box. It's in. Oh! He's going to take a shot here. Oh, no, he's not. He's still passing. That's a smart pass.
God, this is relentless.
He crosses it in. Oh, it's in.
Oh, no!
What a goal.
Oh, I told
What a
you.
goal.
I told you. What did I say?
What a strike.
We are bottle jobs.
What a strike that was. That was remarkable.
What did I say? I knew it.
Oh, you just don't get
I
better
knew
than that.
it.
That is top. That is top level.
Yeah, but I knew it. I told you. And you said, James, nah, you're usually the positive guy, but I'm sorry. I've lost my positivity. We bottle, Watford Football Club, bottle football matches. That's what we are. We're a bottle job club at the moment.
I can't believe that. That's a rocket and a half. I mean, people can argue there that Blackman could have done better, but that's just an unbelievable strike. That is top left. You can't get higher than that. Oh, that is.
Do it anymore.
If we go and lose this now, I am going to be incandescent with rage.
Oh, so I reckon there'll be another 3 or so minutes to play now.
I reckon this could go into the 100-minute mark.
Joshua says he's at the match, Cal.
Is he?
Apparently. What's the atmosphere like, Joshua?
Surely it's been electric now.
And what about all them fans who we commented that they left early?
Oh man, come on!
Oh, here we go.
They're going again. They're literally, it's relentless.
I can't be bothered.
If we lose this, we don't deserve anything.
I can't be bothered with this club anymore. You know what? I thought we'd actually win this game as well. I actually thought we would go and win this.
You're saying Watford win? That's oh my
no.
God! Oh.
Clear it!
God Almighty! This is.
I'm fed up of this club. Well, we've got 5 seconds to go. Will the referee add any more on? He probably will.
Sunderland
Here
still
they
attack
come.
here. Oh, that's a great ball.
No.
Is he going to take a shot in here? He's playing it in.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh.
Is that a penalty? No.
I don't know.
It's going to be a corner to Sunderland.
What's going on, boys? We've absolutely we've choked it completely.
We've capitulated again is what we've done.
Takes a shot.
Oh, is that it? I think the referee's blown up now.
Oh man, that is absolutely ridiculous. I
I mean,
can't believe it.
absolute carnage there. I mean, the last 20 minutes of that game, Cal, absolute carnage. Great to watch from a neutral perspective. Watford, it does nothing for us whatsoever. You know, we're still shit. We still capitulate. We still bottle games. Sunderland, they've come back. They've shown fight. They've shown good mentality.
Something that we don't have.
They've got the draw. So for Sunderland, a much better result than it is for Watford. And yeah, Cal, final thoughts in the game?
Just, I think, really from the final thoughts of the game, I'm actually going to just repeat Harry Place's comment there. Moral of the story, never trust Watford with a 2-0 lead. We were 2-0 up. How have we capitulated that badly?
I don't know.
It's just
I'm just
depressing.
frustrated.
It's just frustrating and depressing watching this club at the moment. It really is. I'm starting to get a bit fed up now. I just want the season to end. I really do.
So, Stoke City at home next week. As I mentioned earlier, I should be doing a match day log from that game. So keep an eye out for that. We'll, of course, preview the game in a separate video as well. And yeah, I'll probably do a match reaction to this later, actually, as well, talking about Watford's capitulation again. We've seen it, you know, time in, time out this season. Coventry bottled the league, the lead there. We were cruising 2-0. Then what happened? Drew 2-2. Sunderland today, 2 corners, 2 goals. You know, cruising, relatively comfortable in the game. What happens? They get a goal back straight away. We capitulate, we bottle it. It's the Watford story time and time again this season. However, what has been consistent is the fans and you guys watching the Watford Way and just Watford fans generally. You know, we turn up week in, week out to support the club. Unfortunately, the players are not performing on the pitch. However, you know, there is stuff to get positive about. Ben Manga, Helena Costa. There's a meeting between the fans and Gina Pozzo happening in July, which hopefully we'll be able to attend. So that's exciting as well. And yeah, you know, it is positive from here. Hopefully, it can't get much worse. As I mentioned earlier, please subscribe to the Watford Way. Please like the video and let me know your thoughts on the match in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to Cal for coming on. Where can everyone find you, Cal?
You can see right down here, the Hornets house. I've just posted a brand new edit of Joao Pedro just going of his new transfer to Brighton, which has now become one of my most liked posts ever. I didn't think we actually get better over the Ryan Andrews edit, but it has been overtaken. So I want to say a huge thank you to every single person who has liked that post and has shown it some love. You know, it's my first time ever attempted to do a kit swap. And yeah, it's been absolutely incredible to see all the support that's been happening twofold, and yeah, it's amazing. It really is. So thank you so much. Also, I thought I could say as well, just one last push there. 11 people in the stream now. If you haven't already, please do like it. I want to see if we can try and get to 17 likes before the stream ends. And of course, as well, if you haven't subscribed already, you know what to do. You know how to do that. See if we can try and get as many subs in just as the last hurdle before we do end the stream. Yeah, I mean, it's been a wild ride this stream. Obviously, the result that we didn't want.
The season work as well, Cal. Hopefully, you'll be on for a few more next year as well.
Yeah, I just want to say as well, you know, thank you very much, James, for having me on for all these watch-alongs. It's been a real pleasure to you know, speak to the chat, and yeah, just hope for more luck within the 2023-2024 season. I have got plans to do a lot more for the Hornets house next season, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that, and I'll keep you updated on my page in due course. I'm sure James will definitely be a huge hand in helping, you know, get that pushed out to as many people as possible. But yeah, just keep your eyes peeled for that. Last game of the season next week. Let's see if we can try and end it on a high. But like I said, it's too little too late. We so should have won that game. It's an absolute joke. We've capitulated at the very last minute. Yeah, it's a real shame. But yeah, the Hornets house, if you haven't followed me already and you're in the stream, make sure you do so. Wow.
Thank you very much, Cal. So yeah, as Cal said, Stoke City next week for Watford. And yeah, hopefully we can finish the season on a high. I think for most Watford fans, we'll begin to that game to say goodbye to Joao Pedro for one last time. If you want to hear my thoughts on Joao Pedro's transfer to Brighton and Hove Albion, you can go on our channel now. The video is live. I'll let you know all my thoughts about Joao in that video. And if you wanted to know my thoughts before heading into this Sunderland game, you can go and watch our Sunderland match preview, which we posted a couple of days ago. I was a little bit pessimistic. I predicted, I think, a 4-0 defeat. Watford were 2-0 up in the game today, and once again, we capitulated again. So yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to you, Brendan, at the Dutch Hornets, for sending me this sticker as well. Much appreciated. And apart from that, I don't really know what else to say. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know, Watford are just not having a great time at the moment. And I'm sure we can all agree on that. So thanks so much for watching. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.
See you guys.